Hello and welcome to Star Trek Resurgence. If you would like to check out the game, there is a link in the description, and this is actually something that I am going to be loving, or at least I hope I'm going to be loving it. I have not played any of it so far. This is made by a developer that has a whole bunch of Trekkies on the team, and I have no idea what it's about. I just know that it is a Telltale-style narrative adventure set in the Star Trek universe. This is set right after, as far as I'm aware, right after the events of Star Trek Nemesis. And so, if you're a fan of Star Trek, you should probably check this out. Anyway, let's begin, and I'll just choose. As you can see, I have not played any of these with the save slots, so let's begin and see what happens. Oh, I'm excited. This is a Dramatic Labs adventure. The relationships and events you are about to experience will be shaped by the choices you make.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy. The nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
Here's a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
I'll give it a try. Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
There we go. There's the beginning of the game. Now, I got to tell you straight away here, there are two different characters that you're going to be able to play as. One is the one that we've just seen, Jara Rydek. She's going to be the first officer of the Resolute, which is the ship that we're currently on our way to. And as you can see, they're doing this wonderful homage to the first Star Trek movie. What was it called again? The motion picture, right? Yeah, the motion picture. It's been such a long time since I've seen that. Anyway, let's see what happens. Aha! We actually get the opportunity to move around. Okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, I'm not playing with a controller right now, but as you no doubt saw in the in the shuttle there, I had to press right trigger. Now, I just used one of the mouse buttons. I assume that's right mouse button to grab the pad. And yeah, that's just something that you're going to have to bear in mind, that obviously there are going to be some things that are a little bit iffy, but don't worry about that because it works perfectly fine with a mouse and keyboard, as you can see.
Long way from home now.
Yes, indeed, a long way from home. Okay, I've just got to do something real fast. I've got to lower the music and the sound effects, in my opinion, because I really want to hear more of the dialogue. Alright, so let's check in at security, and we'll see. Ooh, okay, should I be annoying? Should I be a nice person? I don't know.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground, so to speak.
The pleasure's mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'm not gonna be annoying, and I'm not gonna be mean or anything like that. I'm gonna try to be how I would actually be in a realistic situation if I was a part of Starfleet. And generally, I'm gonna try to respond in a similar fashion to how I might think Riker might respond, or any of the other first officers, with the exception of those that are not particularly, you know, human, or Kobliad in my case.
Is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Oh no, come on. They didn't just do that, did they? They didn't just tell me what a Bolian is. No. Okay, well, okay. All things considered, maybe you're not a Star Trek person. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know what a Bolian looks like. I obviously do, but, you know, let's face it. Anyway, let's talk to this lost crewman.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, there are phaser fights in this game. Yes, indeed, phaser fights, and you can also take out your tricorder and you can scan the environment and various other things along the way. There's there's a bunch of different things. Also, stealth is available too. Who's this? Talk to Starfleet officer. Do I want to talk to everyone? I guess so, right?
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Oh, I already knew. Oh no, come on. I already knew that. I saw him from a mile away. I wasn't wanting any directions. I was just... okay, fine. Examine information. What's this? Replicated meal. Alright, okay, fine. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go and speak to the Bolian. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hello there.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And if I can help in any way, just let me know. The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
Did you lose anyone close to you?
Too many. And to that I'll just say, you have big shoes to fill. Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time. And I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Alright, so this is our other character, I assume, and they really went super hard with the emotions in the first part, didn't they? Look at that. So I'm going to assume right now, I'm going to guess, alright, that there's probably some kind of saboteur, some kind of sabotage going on, maybe with this particular vessel. Maybe there's an enemy agent on board. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking way too much in terms of the TV show. But as you could no doubt tell, at the very start, they had that the title of the episode, or the title of this particular episode, flash on the screen. And it was like, yeah, this is like a real episode of the TV show that we all know and love, you know? So anyway, let me just see here. Find the plasma torch. Oh, there's the hyperspanner. No, the plasma torch is this thing. Clear the corrosion. Oh, hello there. I'm doing all the work right now. Okay, wait a minute. There we go. We have to we have to move our cursor onto the. I never thought I'd be doing engineering work on the. I wanted to say the Enterprise, but no, I never thought I would be doing engineering work on any, NCC vessel ever. But there you go. Here I am. Isn't that amazing? Yes. Okay, here we go. They're teaching us how to use this. Okay, wait a minute. I've got to use my mouse just to do a little bit of rotation and then pull it out. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm loving this. I am absolutely loving this. If you are a Star Trek fan, I feel like you basically have to do this. Oh, by the way, it is... I do realize that some people don't really like Epic Games Store or anything like that. It is only on Epic Games at the moment, but if you buy it now... you get 25% off due to the Epic Mega Sale at the moment. It is not actually on sale, but you get a coupon just for being on the store. So, you know, during this sale. So if you want to get it, it's 25% off from its base price, and it's not even a full price release. I actually purchased this with my own money. I did not get a key or anything like that, just because I'm just a big Star Trek fan. So, you know, just the same as like how I like Star Wars and how I like all of that stuff. So anyway, let's put this back in now. And oh, wait a minute. I gotta do 2 things at once. Okay. I might not be able to do that. Oh no. 2 things at once. That's a bit too complicated for me.
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
And that is a Trill. Oh yes, I know Trill. Oh yes, I know Jadzia and Ezri, of course. You know, they're the most famous ones. Well, are they actually? I mean, there obviously is the. Wait, no, he's a Betazoid. Never mind. I continually get mixed up. You know, Lon Suda from Voyager, of course. Yeah, obviously all those old shows. I know quite a lot about them. The newer shows, I don't really know too much about that. So, you know, for example, Discovery, Lower Decks, Strange New Worlds, all that stuff that's coming out recently, I have no idea what's going on with that. But I can assume it's just as good, you know, with all the wonderful, you know, set design and the adventures that these crews are having. I really cannot imagine how cool that's going to be. I should really check those out. I really should check those out. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'm not sure why. Not sure why I haven't.
Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious. Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovok said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
It all comes down to us, Nilly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa!
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Oh, I can't believe we get to go and do a spacewalk in these classic suits. Okay, yeah, so one thing I gotta say, I love what the Vulcan said. I absolutely love the whole Vulcan deal, you know. Any single Vulcan character that I've seen in any of these shows that I have actually watched, they're always really fun because they, I know that seems like a completely illogical thing to say, because let's face it, you know, they're supposed to be emotionless, but it's really funny how you can just see them tick when they're interacting with humans, you know what I mean? It's like, you could see what Diaz was talking about, you know, when we answered, he was like, I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. You do not need to flatter me, and so on and so forth, you know. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Anyway, yeah, this is just, as I say, a Star Trek fan, and it's just a dream come true, really. The only thing that I would love to see more is actually being able to command your own ship and decide where you want to go. But obviously that is very much a, you know, that's a different beast. That is a different beast. And there are a bunch of games that are actually going to be coming out that do that, but just without the narrative. So let's step out and see what we've got on the outside here that we have to repair. What do we have? What do we actually have to do again? Oh no, I forget what the commander told us.
Let's go.
Well, thankfully, it looks as though we don't have to do that because we're switching our perspective. There we go, that's good.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
I gotta say, I'm actually not that familiar with Kobleods either, and I had no idea that there was actually a race that required duridium in a steady supply to live. I think they must have been around when I was watching the shows, but maybe I just, I don't know, maybe I didn't take notice or something like that. I have no idea. Anyway, I guess what we can do is we can actually take a look at some of the stuff here. Yeah, we can have a look at the model train.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the Academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrit Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
Well, I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I heard that you had an equipment malfunction.
Is that what they're calling it? No, that's just someone being generous. If anything, it was a leadership malfunction. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there, within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship could handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
We all know the risks when we sign up. There are no guarantees. As much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
True. But as captain, my job is to mitigate and manage the risks as much as possible. And that's where I failed. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO, and I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it has to be my call. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. 2 previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission?
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details at the rendezvous.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
Thank you, but I feel like I still have so much to learn.
You'll have plenty of opportunity. And if you're willing to put in the work, I'll do everything in my power to help you along the way. Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
I don't know about you, but obviously if you're a Star Trek fan, you're probably going to be still watching this, but here's now the thing. I am getting positively giddy about making some of these decisions. And it's funny because it's not really, it's not life or death or anything like that, and we haven't gotten into any action or whatever, but that doesn't really matter to me because I'm walking around the hallways and corridors and speaking to a captain of a starship in the Star Trek universe, and, well, you can obviously play Star Trek Online if you want to do that. You can fly your very own ship in that as well, but I feel like this close proximity and this whole emphasis on narrative and being able to decide your own course of action in these conversations, it really helps to draw you in. And I actually love that. I am positively loving this. And if you don't, then that's absolutely fine. That is perfectly fine. But we rarely get really good Star Trek games, and I just got to say that if you are a Star Trek fan, you should really check this out and consider it yourself. And as I say, I was not sponsored or given a key for this or anything like that. I just really like it. And that's it. That's all there is to it.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time, and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
You really do know a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could inspire you, but it's important to chart your own path.
Thanks. You can count on it.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Wait a minute. Am I actually gonna be? Am I gonna be doing the thing? Am I gonna be doing the thing? Am I gonna say engage? Are we going? Are we going? I don't even know. I'm excited. Can you tell? Okay, wait a minute. Let me just press enter real quick, because then you can actually see what is what's going on with the two different characters. As you can see, was reassured by Jara's modesty and leadership potential after their first meeting. Jara made a strong first impression with Commander Ermont, coming off as humble and appreciative while showing empathy for what the crew of the Resolute suffered. And Ensign Calloway was grateful for Jara's helpful guidance when he was nervous on the shuttle flight. And then we have Carter, who interacted with Miranda and obviously Chovak, and he said Miranda felt encouraged by Carter's warm reception when she first arrived aboard the Resolute, holding out hope there might be some chemistry between... Oh, okay, I see the marriage bells are ringing, and we have hopefully there's no marriage bells with him, or maybe we do, who knows. Anyway, Lieutenant Commander Chovak found Carter to be respectful and responsible when he and Edsela were almost late in main engineering, and that is the highest compliment you can receive from a Vulcan, in my opinion at least. Anyway, that is actually going to be it for this episode. I would love to be able to sit in this chair right now, but I'm going to end it off here. If you would like to see more, then by all means let me know. You know what? I'm gonna make another episode just because I absolutely love this game and I want to show more of it, and hopefully you want to come along for the journey, or you want to pick it up yourself and play it. It's up to you. Either way, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.